All right, video 2. So now we're going to take a look at some examples. That's the first thing that I want you to watch, and then we're going to talk about a little bit. So first thing I want you to watch is City of Light, the song We Too Have Overcome, which is a song we've been doing here recently. In fact, we introduced it after we did the workshop. So I want you to pause right now. I'm going to keep talking, but hit pause. Go watch the video of We Too Have Overcome, okay? And then we're going to talk about it a little bit. So be back in a second as you pause. Okay, did you watch it? I hope so. All right, so I want you to be thinking, what did you see? What did you experience? And there's an element of, if you saw, first thing that kind of came to me as well as our team when we talked about this is no music stands, no equipment up on stage to distract or to interfere with that relationship connection with the congregation. Also, they were very expressive, right? They were expressing passion. They were expressing their engagement in the song and singing the song. And there was an element of, there was an element of quote unquote cheerleading. And we don't want to think of it like that, but there is a practical element of expressing in a way that engages people, right? Because that's part of the mechanics of leading, is we're trying to engage with people, but not out of a gimmick, not out of a manipulation, but out of a realness that comes from in here. That's why it's got to come from in here. Otherwise, we are just cheerleading, right? We're just standing up there and saying, woo, clap your hands, woo. That doesn't have depth. It doesn't have realness. The realness and the depth comes from us first. And hopefully you sense that from them. I certainly did, that they were engaged personally, expressively, which then helps engage the congregation, right? And it's that kind of song, right? It's kind of a high energy, expressive, woo, we too have overcome. The lyrics, like, wow, we have overcome sin and death because of what Christ has done for us. So it follows that, right? That expression is what the content of the song is. And so think about that. Think about what you saw. Now, I'm going to pause. I want you to pause again. I want you to go to Bethany's website, and I want you to watch a Bethany service. Okay? So, pausing now. Okay, we're back. So, now, think about what you saw with City of Light. Now, think about what you saw at Bethany. All right? Think about the differences of engagement. The music stands is a huge thing. If you didn't notice it right away, we certainly all did when we talked about it. That really jumps out. Also, there's a lot of this, right? A lot of buried in the music, which is another thing we really talked about. You didn't see that in the City of Light. I think the keyboard player maybe had something. He had like an iPad, I think, where he was reading music. But for the most part, people were pretty engaged with the expression and with the song, and not being caught up and engaged in the music. Clearly, that comes across the opposite direction for the Bethany thing. Any of this stuff we talk about, it's not about you're a bad person. It's not about, oh, look at those Bethany people. They don't know what they're doing. It's not about any of that. It's about what can we do better as a team to engage with the congregation, to express ourselves in worship, to be able to gather people in, to be able to raise the level of what's happening. Not just can we execute better, but how can we engage personally? How can we engage the congregation? So think about, these things are technical obstacles that get in the way, all right? Okay, I think that's enough. So I want you to think about that. Go back, watch both of those. Think about what you saw. Think about who's engaging. How engaged do you feel is watching it? And again, not in a judgmental criticism way, just in a practical way. You know, that's the end of the day. We want to be honest of our critique, because critique is good, right? That's how we learn. That's how we grow. That's how we do better. So watch them, think about them. I've got some more we can watch when we dive into the next video. Okay? Thanks again for watching.